on the אמרה לאלוהי בעודי, אז אמרה לאלוהי בעודי, אהללה, אהללה, אז אמרה לאלוהי בעודי.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Temple of Israel. Whether you're joining us over Zoom or over StreamSpot, we are happy to begin Shabbat together with you. For those of you joining us for the first time and guests, I'm Rabbi Michael Wolk. Together with Cantor Shira Lissick, we welcome you to Temple Israel. This Shabbat, we read the Torah portion of Va'era, the second Torah portion in the book of Exodus. And as the Torah opens, Moses is dispirited. Moses is scared because he has stood up to Pharaoh and he has failed. He is terrified to go back, terrified of what Pharaoh will do to him. So God comes to Moses and offers him encouragement. I am the Lord, God says, and I appeared to your ancestors, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob as El Shaddai. But my name, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, the Lord, they did not know. Now, Moses, you know that name. We know from reading the Torah and from Jewish tradition that God has a number of different names that are used at different times. And the power of this moment is that God is reminding Moses that he has a unique and distinct, a different relationship with God than anyone who has come before. Yes, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob knew God. Yes, they were great, but Moses, you are unique, and I relate to you in a unique way. You have the confidence, you have the strength to stand up to Pharaoh and lead the Israelites. It's a great opening scene for the Torah portion on the week in which we celebrate a bar mitzvah. I'd like to say Mazel Tov to Alex Stiefel, who will be called to the Torah tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow afternoon at 5 at Mincha. And Alex, it's okay to be nervous as you go into your bar mitzvah weekend. And I'll say two things to you. First, you are like David Ortiz, like Big Pappy. My friend, I know you are clutch. Second, think about that scene of Moses talking to God, Moses getting nervous. And God says to him, you are unique. I have a special relationship with you. You have everything that you need to do this, to get through standing in front of Pharaoh. Well, Alex, it's a lot of pressure becoming a bar mitzvah, to follow in the footsteps of your parents and your grandparents before you. But the beauty of becoming a bar mitzvah is that now you start to develop your own relationship with God, your own distinct relationship with Jewish faith and Jewish tradition. You've worked hard to reach this day, and we're excited to celebrate together with you and your entire family tonight and tomorrow. We welcome in Shabbat together with the Stiefels with the blessing over the Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos. We begin Kabbalat Shabbat led by Alex. We turn in our Sidor Lev Shalem, to page 11. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God, raising our voice in song. Page 11, Lechuner Anena.
Lehuner Anena, Lehuner Anena, Lehuner Anena, Ladonai. Lehuner Anena, Lehuner Anena, Lehuner Anena, Ladonai. Naria, Letori, Shenu Nikamafana, Betoda. Naria, Letori, Shenu, Bismi, wrote Naria low. Lehuner Anena, Lehuner Anena, Lehuner Anena, Ladonai. Lehuner Anena, Lehuner Anena, Lehuner Anena, Ladonai.
The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice, the sea and its fullness roar, the meadows and all that grows in them exult. Even the trees of the forest shall sing praise. Page 14 at the red arrow, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismehu Hashamayim. Yismehu Hashamayim. Yismehu Hashamayim. Vatagel haaretz. Yiramayam. 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 Umalo o. Yiramayam. 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 Umalo o. Yismehu Hashamayim. Yismehu Hashamayim. Yismehu Hashamayim. Vatagel haaretz.
Alex, don't you just love it when your parents give you the wrong response?
Yes.
Page 20, the bottom of the page, Romimu, 3 lines from the bottom of the page.
Romimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtahavu lahar kodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtahavu lahar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtahavu lahar kodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtahavu lahar kodsho.
We continue on page 23, welcoming the Shabbat Kala, the Shabbat bride, Lecha Dodi.
Laha dodi, li kraka la, pane Shabbat nikabala. Laha dodi, li kraka la, pane Shabbat nikabala. Shamor v'zahor beri bor ehad, Yishmi anu Elohim yahad, Adonai ehad u'shemo ehad. Lashim utif aret velat hila la dodi, li kraka la. Pane Shabbat nikabala. Laha dodi li kraka la. Pane Shabbat nikabala. Likrat Shabbat lehuvanelha. Ki himeko habraha merosh mikedem nisuha. Zohma aseh b'maha Shabbat tehila la dodi. Li kraka la. Pane Shabbat nikabala. Laha dodi li kraka la. Pane Shabbat nikabala. Boi v'shalom ater bala. Gambu suha uvet to emune asegula. Boi hala la dodi li kraka la. Pane Shabbat nikabala. Laha dodi li kraka la. Pane Shabbat nikabala.
Yasher Koach, Alex, great job. Thank you for leading us in Kabbalat Shabbat. May be seated. We continue page 27, a song for the day of Shabbat, Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat.
Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ozamer l'shimcha elyon. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Le'agid b'boker chasdecha ve'emunatcha b'leilot alei azor v'alei navel alei higayon ve'chinor mizmor shir le'yom HaShabbat. ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עזור ולנבל, עלי היריון בכינור. לילה, 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 לילה. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, lai, lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 yai, lai, 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 lai. צדיק התמר יפרח, כארז בלבנון יזכה, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחון. עוד יראו בשיבה דשנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולא הבלטה בו.
Page 29.
Adonai malaki ulavish, lavish. Adonai oz hitazar aktikon tevel baltimot. מקולות מים רבים הדירים משפריים, אדיר במרום אדוני, עדותיך נמנו מלביתך נאווה קודש, אדוני לאורך ימים.
Each and every Friday night, we bless our children with the words of Berkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction. Now we offer those words of blessing to all those that we care about in our lives. If you're together with them in person, reach out with your hands to bless them. If they're separated from you, if you're in a different place, reach out with your hearts. And we join together with the Steeples in blessing Alex. And I think I see 3 generations together in their house. They're joined by grandparents Mark and Maddie Silverman. Mazel tov to you. We join with Cantor in the words of Berkat Kohanim.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
Adonai bless you and guard you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. Ken yehi ratzon.
May Adonai show you favor and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon yasim lecha shalom. Ken yehi ratzon.
May Adonai show you kindness and grant you peace.
Amen.
We now turn our thoughts, our prayers to those in our lives in need of healing, those in need of physical or spiritual well-being. Included in our prayers tonight, we think of Chana Miriam bat Rivka, Avram Mordechai ben Fega, Rav Yaakov Chai ben Hadassah, Shimon ben Yaakov Mordechai ben Naomi, Devorah bat Sarah, Hershel Yehoshua ben Malka, Perel bat Rezel, Dov ben Ita, Shmo Yaakov ben Kalia bat Ari, Devorah Rachel, Yeta Gittel, Aviva bat Chaya, Malka bat Sarah, Leib Israel ben Sipora, Adina Miriam bat Aaron v'Devora, Eliza Meira bat Leah, Chaim Yitzchak ben Gittel Fegel, Tzivya bat Chana, Rav Moshe Chaim ben Susha, Helen bat Leah, Zev Dov ben Baruch v'Leah, Yudit bat Miriam, Paltiel ben Moshe, Meira Bracha bat Chana, Shmuel ben Ariel, Tuvia ben Devora, Zipporah bat Chasha, Fegel bat Chasha, Arya ben Malka, Rachel bat Ruth, Harav Moshe Elchanan ben Harav Avraham Alevi, Ruben Beryl ben Ita, Kalman Pinchas ben Moshe ve'Eta, Sarah bat Chaya, Chanoch Yitzchak ben Sarah, Sarah bat Shendel, Ruth bat Frumamina, Benjamin Noah, Howard and Beverly Kaufman, Elijah Avila, Jordana Faith Ram, Rich Ulrich, Mabel Tannenbaum, Sue Ann Burrows, Kathy Berlin, and Maxine Albaum. Now we take a moment to recite the names of anyone we are praying for this evening. Mishaberach, the prayer for healing.
El Narefanala, El Narefanala, Mishaberach Avoteinu, El Narefanala, El Narefanala, Mishaberach Imoteinu. Grant us refuah shlema. Grant us refuah shlema. May the source of healing renew our bodies, renew our spirit, and let us say Amen.
A prayer for healthcare professionals. May God who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you for honoring God and caring for God's creation. May God protect and save you from COVID-19 as well as all other illness, and send blessing and success to the work of your hands, along with all others who are doing their part to ease suffering and save lives. May God bless you every time you rise up from your bed, walk out of your home, and go to work. May you return to your loved ones each and every day in full health, and let us say, Amen. Turn to page 30 in the Sidurim. And I invite those in mourning or marking a yortzeit to rise and join me in the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah, v'yalmad yivera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeh d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehi shemei rabah mevorach leolam olamei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav v'yaseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. May be seated. Cantor, where'd she go? She's not there. Teresa, there are 10 plagues that God sends against the Egyptians on the way to the Exodus. I'm going to test your memory of the Seder. Of those 10 plagues, which do you think is the scariest? Which one would make you say, enough is enough? Locusts, good guess. Locusts are pretty unpleasant. Adam, do you know your plagues? Which is the scariest plague for you? You go with the frogs. Good call, that's the one I'm going to talk about. So, some of the plagues are pretty scary. Personally, I'm a firstborn, so the death of the firstborn really hits home. But I've always found something somewhat humorous about the second plague, the one that Adam mentioned, Sfardeia, or the frogs. At my seders, growing up and currently, as many people do at their seders, we solemnly spilled drops of our wine as we intoned Dam, Sfardeia, Kinim, and so on, going through the list of the 10 plagues. But then, right after finishing Makat Bechorot, the death of the firstborn, a pretty serious topic, we joyfully break into song. One morning King Pharaoh woke in his bed, there were frogs in his bed, and frogs on his head, frogs on his toes, and frogs on his nose. Frogs here, frogs there, frogs were jumping everywhere. I didn't know if I was going to sing the whole thing when I got up here. I'm glad I did. Then we played with the hopping frog toys that my mother had spread all over the table. Of course, we never had toys for the blood or for the animal disease. One scholarly explanation for the plague of frogs is that ancient Egyptians worshipped among their pantheon of gods a god with the head of a frog called Heket. And by sending frogs against the Egyptians, frogs that they couldn't control, God was demonstrating superiority over anything that the Egyptians chose to worship. Personally, I imagine the plague of frogs as a somewhat gross nuisance. But there's a rabbinic legend, a midrash, that retells the plague in a way that sounds like a very cheesy horror film. Noting that the Hebrew word for frog, tzfardeia, is in the singular, when the plague starts, the rabbis explain that instead of millions and millions of frogs hopping out of the Nile, one big, giant, very ugly frog comes roaring out of the river. Think the Godzilla of frogs. Faced with this terrifying green beast, the Egyptians ran at it with sticks. But each time an Egyptian hit the frog, it would divide into 2 more frogs. The more the Egyptians attacked the big frog, the more frogs there were. And the Egyptians, they didn't stop until the whole land was overrun by hopping, croaking frogs. Like I said, a pretty bad horror movie. This strange story is used to teach us about some human proclivities that we are familiar with. First, the Egyptians try to attack the symptom of the problem rather than the cause or the problem itself. They did not attempt to appease God by appealing for freedom for the Israelites, but rather they attacked every little frog as if getting that one little green nuisance would make the whole problem go away. Then, even though they could clearly see that their efforts were making things worse, they kept at it. They persisted going down this path. They could have stopped after the first few frog divisions and avoided some of the distress, but instead they kept going down this failed path and they only made their problem worse. While the Egyptians in the story appear somewhat foolish, we are challenged by this midrash to think about how we may approach any challenge, any particular problems. Do we treat the symptoms or do we go to the cause? Then, are we willing to reconsider an approach that is not working? The story of the Exodus remains a timeless and important story because it was used to teach our ancestors and us by extension about what it means to be free people. The Egyptians, the enslavers, the people who seem to be in control of the situation, are in fact ruled by their impulses, and they're unable to do something that would actually improve their own lives. They can only make it worse. As free people, we're reminded by this story to think about what we are doing, to think about whether it is the right approach or whether we need to change what we are doing. As free people, we have the ability to do that. And we don't hit frogs. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with Mariv service, beginning with the Baruch Hu, page 39. Please rise. be seated. I often like to take walks at night, and I live in an area that is very heavily treed, beautiful old trees. So I look up at the sky, all I see are the leaves. Well, this week I walked in a different neighborhood, and I looked up in the sky, and there were no trees around. It was a completely cloudless night, cloud-free night, and I was just amazed to look up and see all of these stars looking down at me. As I saw that scene, I thought of this bracha, of this blessing that we say as we begin the evening service, thanking God who arranges the stars in their places in the sky and who creates day and night. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's divisions, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Living and ever-present God, may your rule be with us forever and ever. Blessed are you who brings each evening's dusk.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים. תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבי.
Amen. Page 40.
אהבת תורה בית ישראל עמך, אהבת תורה מצוות ומשפטים. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, באהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. והיה עם שמוע תשמע מצוותיך. Adonai Elohechem, Amen.
Page 43.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לכנו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך באלים, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך נהדר כי פז אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גל ישראל.
Amen. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Blessed are you who spreads the canopy over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. Page 45, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, leshalom, leshalom. Hashkivenu, Adonai, Eloheinu, leshalom, leshalom, v'ha'amidenu, malkeinu, l'chaim, chaim, ufros aleinu, sukkot, shlomecha, shlomecha. When I lay down at night, when I rest my head, oh God, watch over me. And when the morning comes, we thank Adonai and pray for peace. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו וכל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
Amen. We rise, page 46, Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת,
לעשות
את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל ידע שמי רבה. ועמד יברח חירותי וימניח מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי כל בית ישראל. בעגלה, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן, יהי שמי רבם מבורך, לעולם ולעולם מהמיה, יתברך, יתברך וישתבח ויבר בתרומה וינסה ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי רקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן ביעלמה, ואמרו אמן.
Spend the next few moments in silent prayer, the words of the Amidah, beginning on page 47.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yoseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yoseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom.
Page 54, Kaddish Shalem.
יתגדל ויתגדל שמי רבה.
אמן.
ביום דיברה חידותי במלכותי בחיי חולים ובמלכות בית בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך יתברך ישתבח ויתברך ותרומה ויתעשה ויתצדק ויצלח ויצלח שמי ריקוד שבריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. תתקבע צלצון ובצון זוכי ישראל קדם אבוהן וישמעי ואמרו אמן. יהי שמר רב מן שמעי וחיים מלין ולכל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום לנו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו amen.
Amen. We turn to page 55. I invite you to raise your glass of wine and join together with Alex Stiefel in the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kadashanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'havadu ratzon hinhilanu zikaron l'ma'aseh b'reishit ki hu yom tehila l'mikra'ei kodesh zeher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'harta yotanu ki dashta mikohamim v'shabbat kodsha b'ahavat uratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen. Take a sip.
L'chaim, take a sip. Alex, like I said, you are a David Ortiz, not a Bill Buckner. We continue with Aleinu, page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינות זו בגבי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא אלוהים בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת עינון, רק נקבל אחרונים מרבים וזכר. כי המלכות שלך יולמד תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
May be seated. We turn to page 58. Before reciting the mourner's Kaddish, we think of those whose yortzites fall this coming week. This Shabbat, we remember Jill Estroff Young, Freda Lappin, Harold Garten, Sidney Shubin, Nettie Brenner, Sam Scheib, Chaim Seigler, Stephen Jacobs, Diane Goldberg, Irving Weissman, Rita Arnoff, Minnie Biber, Dickie Shapiro, Simon Perlin, Charles Meltzner, Edith Rosman, Evelyn Handler, Edwin Goodman, Terry Katz, Cynthia Hyman, Esther Volneskaya Bick, Martha Michelle, Stanley Schlesinger, Norma Abrams, Sarah Albert, Joy Boxer, Harry Goldstein, Marvin Bernstein, Bill Bennett, Edward Dordick, Emmanuel Guller, Nathan Rabhan, Murray Saltzman, Rella Cohen-Court, Irving Goldman, and Sam Warshauer. We also extend condolences to families in the midst of Shiva and Shloshim following the death of a loved one, to Kevin Levine for the passing of his brother-in-law, Jeff Odom, to Julie Fisher for the passing of her father, Jack Henry Gottlieb. And of course, this week we extend our condolences to Harvey Barrer on the passing of his beloved wife, Shelley Barrer, who's so well known and beloved in this congregation. And we welcome Harvey back from the funeral, which was in New York. And Shiva for Shelley will continue this Sunday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night at the Temple Israel Zoom Minyan. May all of their memories always be for a blessing. Page 58, Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divera kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayeh d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevorach leolam olameo maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei d'kudsha b'richu, La'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, tamiran bi'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, Amen. May be seated. I now invite on our president, Teresa Brenner, to share some words of Shabbat greeting.
Thank you, Rabbi Walk. Shabbat Shalom, Temple Israel family. Thank you, Rabbi Walk and Cantor Lissick, for leading us so beautifully in services this evening. Thank you also to Adam Ward for his piano accompaniment, to Sean Sievert for his audiovisual support, and to Ariel DiDonato for serving as Zoom Gabbai. A special welcome to Alex Stiefel and his parents, Lauren and Dan Stiefel, his grandparents, Maddie and Mark Silverman, and his family and friends. Alex, you hit it out of the park this evening. Thank you so much for leading us so well in Kabbalat Shabbat, and we really look forward to your bar mitzvah during services tomorrow evening, starting at 5 p.m. Next week, we'll be celebrating the bar mitzvah of Brandon London, son of Michelle and Bill London. Brandon will participate virtually in Kabbalat Shabbat services on Friday evening and lead us in Saturday evening services at 5 p.m. Please join Brandon and his family in celebrating his Simcha. Jews and Brews will not meet this Monday because it's Martin Luther King's Day, so you'll have a chance to observe and honor Martin Luther King. This week, we will provide many opportunities to learn, socialize, and perform deeds of loving kindness together. Yom Gimulut Hasidim has arrived. It will be Sunday, January 17th. Please join us virtually at 9:30 a.m. for the opening ceremony, followed by 10 a.m. by a Greater Charlotte Jewish Community guest speaker group. Join your Temple Israel family and friends as we continue to do our part to repair the world through acts of loving kindness. Select one of our 8 exciting virtual projects. For more information, reach out to Jonathan Berger. Women of Temple Israel will be collecting items to benefit Crisis Assistance Ministry and Safe Alliance through Sunday. For more information, contact Andrea Hollander. Temple Israel's book club will meet Tuesday, January 19th at 7:30 p.m. to discuss Sue Eisenfeld's Wandering Dixie, Dispatches from the Lost Jewish South, a fascinating read and model of engaged scholarship. For more information, contact Linda Levy. COVID-19 vaccines are arriving and being administered in Mecklenburg County. I don't know about you, but I'm certainly getting excited for when I can finally sign up for my spot. Mecklenburg County residents age 65 and older are eligible for the vaccines. They're being administered by Mecklenburg County's Health Department with pre-registration and also through Novant and Atrium Healthcare Systems. You do not have to be a patient of Atrium to register to get in line to receive your vaccine. Please do be patient. This will take some time, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. After Shabbat, please see our website, Kol Israel, and your weekly email for complete information and upcoming events, including youth events with Al and Jonathan, the Shabbat Zoom link, and the StreamSpot box. We offer many opportunities for services, learning, community, and friendship. Please join us. Mazel tov again, Alex, to you and your family, and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Teresa. For all of our Shabbat afternoon regulars, please just note Shabbat Mincha tomorrow afternoon with Alex's bar mitzvah is at 5 o'clock, not 5:30. And you can participate by joining the special Shabbat holiday and B'nai Mitzvah Zoom link, not the regular Shabbat afternoon Zoom, not the regular afternoon Zoom link, the Shabbat festival and B'nai Mitzvah link, or on StreamSpot on the Temple Israel page. We conclude Kabbalat Shabbat on page 5 with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ay, 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 Boachem, Shalom Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu, Shalom Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Melech Malachi HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachi, Shalom, Malachi, Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi, HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch. Ay, 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 Tzivchem, Shalom, Malachi, HaShalom, Malachi, Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi, HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom.